Alright guys, so today we're gonna talk about engines. We do that every fucking time, but this time we're gonna talk about engines in a little bit of different way. So there are some standards in the making of an engine, and let's just take a couple of examples. Take your OM606. It's a 25 or 30-year-old engine, and this engine has been doing 500,000 kilometers or more. In its time, they changed two glow plugs because they were cheap ass and didn't change them all. The last 30,000 kilometers, there's been no oil change, nothing. You have no major oil leaks. The engine fires up on the button and it just runs perfectly fine, just as it did 25 years ago. So when building an engine, we have to meet certain standards, because otherwise the engine will not last. And the factory standard is really fucking high. You have the proof in your car. And I mean, it's not like Mercedes just slapping parts together. That would never ever work. You can argue that the things in your engine are excessively heavy and over-dimensioned and tougher than it needs to be and whatnot. But that's not really true. Because when you're going to make some pistons or rods or a crank or an engine block or a head or whatever the fuck you're going to make, making it as small and light and efficient as possible, that's expensive. Making it big and tough, that's cheap. Here's a piston. Oh, it weighs 800 grams. Just send it. That's what Mercedes did, and what all manufacturers do. We have to go to exotic cars or motorcycles to have the other side of the scale, to have the perfection. You see in the bikes I have, and they are both like mopeds. There are 600cc bikes, but they both have 120 horsepower. 200 horsepower per liter. They both rev 16,000 RPMs. No desmodromic valve system or anything like that. It's a spring and a camshaft. 16,000 RPMs. The Yamaha is from 1999. Fuck NASA. This bike has been to Mars 3 times. And it just fires up. Still revs 15,000 RPM. Still delivers the 120 horsepower. So, the standard that the factories build engines to is really fucking high. So, you have your OM606 and you're gonna build your engine. That's mega cool. Really cool. I like that. But you have 2 options. Build it to a lower standard than factory, or a higher standard than factory. Is it really an option? Is it really something you have to think about and debate with yourself? You cheap ass motherfucker. You can't take this 500,000 kilometer engine that have no problems whatsoever tear it apart for the first time in fucking 30 years and put it together to a lower standard than when you took it apart. So of course we have to do it to the best of our capabilities. Because for me, everything is so fucking simple. And probably to you too. But there are guys out there that lives in countries that don't have the infrastructure that I'm used to. So if you can't dynamically balance your rotating assembly because in your entire country no one has this kind of machinery, then you have to do it to the best of your capabilities. You will not exceed the standard of Mercedes, but you will do the best you fucking can. And I mean, we have to put a limit somewhere. It is not financially viable, economically, I forgot the word in English. It was really good up here. So, but it's not, you can't just expect people to ship shit half the way around the world just to do some work on it. It's with customs and fees and shit like that, it's really fucking tough. So as long as we try the best we can, we do everything in our power. You can statically balance. It's not as efficient, of course. You don't really know in what end the weight is and so on. But you're at least doing the job. So the limit is there. What kind of infrastructure do your country has? If you live in North Korea, it might be difficult. I don't really know. I've never been to North Korea. And Kim, if you're watching, you can please leave a comment. That would be mega. Isn't everybody Kim? That's fucking racist. I'm sorry. But I know it's like 11 style of haircuts and shit. So I think there are something you have to name your kid Kim. So probably not racist. So the options you have is not options. You have one option. You exceed the standard Mercedes build your engine to. That's what you're going to do if you're building your engine. And most guys don't do so much of the work because these engines are amazingly good. Most people just swap the rods. But swapping rods means a lot of work to make it proper, make it correct. What the fuck? So it's not just a matter of swapping rods. But there are also other modifications that people do that are more intricate. And the more work you do, the better it is. For me, I think that. Because we are taking something and making it perfect. And then there are modifications that I think we should do. And not only swapping rods. But that's maybe another video. Or the videos before, maybe, I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't have so much more to say. The engines are fucking amazing when they come from the factory, and you have to think about that. And it doesn't matter if it's Mercedes, the luxury brand of the world. A fucking Honda engine. I mean, look at the Honda guys. Amazing engines. Toyota never breaks, ever. Like you forget to change the fucking tensioner to the timing belt. Shit, happened to my mother-in-law. But stuff like that. Otherwise, the engines never break. And you have some classic failures, of course. It's like the low friction area of engines where Mercedes, Audi, fucking BMW, everybody has had engine failures after engine failures and bullshit like that. But that's not really the point of the story, because when you have a small part in an engine that is causing a lot of other problems, it's not really, I don't know, it's not really the engine that is at fault. The Saab is a very good example. They put the low friction piston rings in the T7 engines. All the fucking T7 engines are trashed and fucked, and it's just a motherfucker. But it's piston rings, you know? It's like, it's so fucking easy. So, but you have to take the engine apart, and nobody does that. So of course, but as a problem, it's so fucking easy. It's the piston rings. Super mega fucking strong rods. Pistons are okay. They don't like the carbon buildup and shit due to the rings, so they crack. But with proper rings, they would hold up, you know. And it's like small part that makes it, and it's the same for you. You swap your rods, you don't do shit, your engine will break. Easy as that. So goodbye, see you in 3 days.